मेरे पास मोबाइल नहीं है, आपका नहीं काम करता।
वो नंबर खाली दीजिए ना, नंबर दे दीजिए खाली।
ये आपका
नहीं, कल मेरे को मैसेज आया 1 GB ऑलरेडी कंप्लीटेड करते हैं नाम
8169
मनीष सर, दूसरा नंबर देखिए, कोशिश का 3 नंबर। इधर है, वांदो बाबू। झा जी, परेश झा,
हेलो, हाँ मैं उनको बोलिए थोड़ा सा रिंग करके बात।
फूट कर भर जाएगी। सैनिक शक्ति के हम अविनाशी जीते हैं सम्मान से। हमें गर्व है भारत माँ पे चलते सीना तान के।
Good morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Cadet Prerna Singh, along with my friend Cadet Arpit, for telling you the importance of the day. On this day, in 1492, Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer, discovered a new world and made landfall in Americas, now referred to as the pre-Columbian era. He landed on an island in Bahamas that was known by its native inhabitants as Gurani.
Today is very important in the history of the world because on this day, Guinea, a West African country, gained its independence from Spain in the year 1963.
In 1901, on 12th October, Executive Mansion was renamed as the White House by the then President of America, Theodore Roosevelt. He was the 26th President of America and served in the office from 14th September 1901 to 4th of March 1904.
Now, coming to a very important event that took place on this day is that Bihar got two new Sainik schools. After the bifurcation of Bihar in 2000, the only Sainik school in the state went to Jharkhand. Then, the political leadership of Bihar felt the need for establishment of Sainik school in the state to prepare young minds to join the armed forces of the country in officer cadre. The then Defense Minister, George Fernandez, led the foundation of two Sainik schools, one at Nalanda and another at Gopalganj on 12th of October 2003.
On this very auspicious day, let's commemorate and cherish the journey of Sainik School Gopalganj since its inception to its infancy, and from its infancy to its grooming and development as a young institution. This school has left mark among all the Sainik schools of the country.
Sainik School Gopalganj has its glorious tradition of academic excellence. It has set benchmark by securing first position consecutively in the session 2009-10 and 2010-11 in class 10 examination. It is said that the history repeats itself, and Sainik School Gopalganj once again repeated its achievement in the academic session 2018-19 by its outstanding performance in CBSE board examinations.
Our journey of pride continued in session 2012-13 when cadets of class 12 proved themselves second to none and kept the flag of the school top among all the Sainik schools in CBSE senior secondary board examination.
Ladies and gentlemen, the achievement of this school in the last session, that is 2021, is really a matter of pride and celebration because cadets of class 10th as well as cadets of class 12th secured first position in CBSE board examinations among all Sainik schools in the country. Now, coming to contribution of our school to NDA and NA in the past years. The tally of cadets who have joined Troy services has reached 79, out of which 52 are proud serving officers. Yes, it's true. When the school was just 8 years old, it produced UPSC NDA examination topper, school number 139, Cadet Saket Kumar. And for his exemplary achievement, he was awarded with a cash prize of Rs 1 lakh from the government of Bihar.
Besides its contribution to NDA-NA, cadets have got success in other services also. 2 of our cadets have cracked UPSC Civil Service examination. 8 have registered their success in Bihar State Civil Services. A total of 17 cadets are IITians. Besides, another 53 have been in NIT and 12 in IIM. Despite the infrastructural constraints, the promising cadets of this school never compromised with their tradition of excellence and left no stone unturned to prove their sportsmanship. They brought laurels to the school by securing first position in Central Zone Inter-School Sports and Co-Curricular Championship in 2011 held at Sainik School, Bhubaneswar, and in 2012 again the school lifted a zonal trophy for the sports and co-curricular activities in Sainik School, Gopalganj.
Our journey of success has just begun and it has to continue in the years to come. And the cadets of this school are confident to realize the dreams come true. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. Thank you and Jai Hind. Now, I would like to call Keshav and Priyanshu who will take you ahead with one of the bravest missions of Indian Armed Forces, that is Operation Kukri.
Thank you, Arpit. The Indian Armed Forces are known for their professionalism and coming up trumps against all odds. They render their heroic services not only for safeguarding the sovereignty of India, but also beyond borders in conflict zones by taking part in United Nations peacekeeping missions. So today, on this auspicious occasion, I, Cadet Priyanshu, and my friend Cadet Keshav, we are here to tell you the most extraordinary tale. A tale of courage and passion, a tale which will not just make your chest swell up with pride, but whose sacrifices will also leave your eyes a little moist. I'm talking about the Indian Army's bravest peacekeeping mission in the jungles of West Africa. The tale is none other than the mighty Operation Kukri.
The story goes long back in Sierra Leone, a small ex-British colony which got its independence on 27th of April 1961, and Sir Milton Margai became the first Prime Minister of the country. The tropical country with diverse environment is bordered by Liberia and Guinea to the east. But the internal conflicts crippled the country from late 90s onward, culminating into a very brutal civil war.
The Revolutionary United Front, RUF, was a rebel army that fought a failed 11-year war in Sierra Leone. It later developed into a political party which exists to the present day. The RUF was created by Fode Sankoh of Timi background with some allies and assistance from Charles Taylor of Liberia. The RUF initially promised for free education, healthcare services, and equal share of diamond revenues. However, it developed a reputation internationally for its terrible behavior with civil population, especially its practice of hacking off limbs and use and abuse of child soldiers. Some of the list of atrocities of RUF also included forced slavery, forced marriages, sex slavery, consumption of brown, which was a half-and-half mixture of gunpowder and cocaine. The organization's actions created a nationwide instability that led to complete overthrow of government.
And all of the previous build-up led to the emergence of civil war in Sierra Leone. On 23rd of March 1991, RUF began to attack the villages of eastern province of Sierra Leone. The main intention of RUF was to take control of country's diamond mine and overthrow the present government. And this led to a series of events that would entrench the country in poverty and warfare for next 11 years. The civilians were subject to horrific acts of mutilation, including having their limbs cut off and ears and lips were also cut off. Approximately 50,000 people were killed and 2 million displaced.
With this comes the Lone Peace Accord. In 1999, an intervention by United Nations resulted in the signing of Lone Peace Accord on July 7. The accord was an agreement signed between the warring parties that gripped the country for almost a decade. It is named Lome after the capital of Togo, where the negotiations took place and it was signed. The Lone Peace Accord contained 37 articles and 5 annexes. It included commitments to end hostilities, the establishment of commission for the consolidation of peace to provide for demobilization, disarmament and reintegration of combatants into civil society. It also granted amnesty to SANCO and all other rebel combatants and allowed RUF to become a political party. The grey area of this accord was that it was voluntary and didn't specify the date and timings for the disarmament.
To achieve these goals, it called for UNAMSL. It agreed upon laying down its weapon to a neutral force of United Nations on 22nd of October in year of 1999. It was established to cooperate the government and other parties in implementation of Lone Peace Accord and to assist in implementation of PPR. In the year 2000, the Council revised UNAMSL mandate. UNAMSL expanded in size several times between 2000 to 2001. The UN force deployed in Sierra Leone were asked to stay neutral come May what. Forced disarmament could lead to conflicts, resulting in much worse consequences.
India stands solidly committed to assist United Nations in maintenance of international peace and security, with the proud history of Indian UN peacekeeping dating back to its inception in 1950s. The 5x8 Gorkha Rifles and 14th Mechanized Infantry, together designated as NBAT-1, had been sent to Sierra Leone to aid the government in disarmament of RUF rebels in mid-April 2000. 2 companies of NBAT-1 were deployed in Kelahon, while the rest were deployed in Daru, where the battalion headquarters of NBAT-1 was set up. Kelahon was the most challenging deployment for Indian forces, since it was the RUF heartland and bordered with Liberia on the westernmost point of Sierra Leone. Kelahon was initially a part of Kenyan deployment, but eventually they declined and the force command got a written order against their deployment.
You can fight a war alone, but you need an army to win it. The Indian Army believes in selfless service. Beyond Call of Duty, the Indian peacekeepers provided humanitarian aid to the people living in Kelahon. When Indian peacekeepers reached Kelahon, the town faced an acute problem of potable drinking water. They took it upon themselves to provide potable drinking water to people living in Kelahon, hence stabilizing water points in the town. They also regularly distributed ration amongst the civilians. The doctor of the company would regularly spend 2 hours attending the sick cases. The Indian Army also believes in winning the heart. And the best way to show your love towards someone unknown is of course through sports. They used to play volleyball at the town square where civilians used to attend there. Here I would like to quote Polo Kelo. Every time you do a good deed, you shine the light a little farther in the dark.
On May 1st, a conflict took over Makini Didia camp, where the RUF soldiers who were peacefully protesting forced disarmament were fired upon by Kenyan soldiers. Around the same time, a helicopter gunship of United Nations had pulled its triggers against RUF soldiers in Magburaka. In the woeful event, RUF lost 20 soldiers, and as a fallout, they laid siege to all areas around Sierra Leone where the peacekeepers were present, except the capital Freetown. The RUF, under impression, held Force Commander General Jaitley responsible for this event, and since he was an Indian soldier, the Indian peacekeepers became their primary targets. Due to communication gap, this news could not be transmitted to Indian soldiers at Kelahon.
On 2nd of May 2000, Major Rajpal Punya and Major Naya, who were the commanding officers of the companies situated in Kelahon, were called for a meeting with officials of RUF in a town hall, where they were tricked and captured. They were taken to a known RUF camp where there was no any basic means of livelihood. They held the honor of tricolor high and did not surrender even when RUF used an Indian soldier for terrorizing the company to surrender, threatening to shoot him. His words to his company were, Even if they shoot me, nobody will surrender. Nobody will diminish the honor of tricolor. No matter what the circumstances, and nothing can resist a person to have that kind of commitment. After 10 days due to intense pressure by Impact 1 and civilians, Major Punya was allowed to go back to his company and come back the following day. Due to Major Punya's good relation with the local leaders, Major Punya and all the hostages were released to go back to the company. The entire company remained in honorable custody.
That fire in their eyes, slaughtering the enemy thrice. That patriotism in their heart, tearing the enemy apart. The rescue plan was planned to involve 5 phases. Phase 1, mobilization of UNAMSL forces. Phase 2, preemptive strikes by helicopters and breakout by besieged forces at Kelahon. The UNAMSL forces were to secure the area for a clear extraction. Phase 3, link up of besieged Kelahon column and special forces unit at Gihon and 5x8 Gorkha rifles to secure Pendembu. Phase 4, link up of Daru column and Kelahon column at Pendembu. And Phase 5, all forces to fall back to Daru. Uniform is a soldier's greatest pride. Major General Rajpal Punya, in his book Operation Kukri, mentions how he could regularly see peacekeepers from other nations being stripped of their uniforms and taken to Liberia so that they could be taken back to their homes. Indian soldiers could happily choose death before disrespect of their uniforms. They didn't break even when the RUF had force-stopped food and water supplies and they were forced to have only 1 meal a day. Such is the love of an Indian soldier for his uniform and honor of his country.
We are indeed honored and privileged to have the soldier who superintended this operation. And the courage and tenacity displayed by him and his men is testimony to why Indian Armed Forces are regarded as one of the best in the world. Major General Rajpal Punya, a native of Churu in Rajasthan, was a senior commanding officer of this operation. The troops commanded by Major General Punya not only defeated the RUF rebels but also broke the seas and 232 Indian soldiers returned to their homeland, giving United Nations peacekeeping missions a boost and a lesson to every UN peacekeeper. Sir received the prestigious Lok Sabha Medal by the President of India in 2002 for his success mission and the courage and valor he showcased at each and every step of the mission.
Havildar Krishna Kumar, a brave and active soldier of the operation, was the only casualty in war who had a foreboding of it before he left for the mission. He was martyred when hit by a rocket while driving a heavy vehicle loaded with artillery ammunition. The rocket crossed from the co-driver's seat and crashed into Krishna Kumar. He kept fighting even after he was hit in his abdomen by the rocket. With blood oozing out of his lower body, he continued unhindered. He sped away from the ambush and parked the vehicle around 100 meters ahead where the RUF wasn't present. Had Krishna Kumar not displayed this exemplary courage, there would have been innumerable caskets to be taken home. He was awarded with the Eminent Sena Medal posthumously. The Indian Army is a source of major pride to all of us. Their numerous sacrifices, constant vigilance and valor keeps the country safe from any kind of threat. Be it guarding the nation at border or conducting missions internally, the Indian Army is known to perform it all. As a cadet and a citizen of India, I take it most pride in our army. Let us all take a moment here and express our gratitude for the constant brave efforts and endeavors of the Indian Army in making our nation a safer and better place. It was an honor to recall the monumentary Operation Kukri in the benign presence of Major General Rajpal Punya. Sir, the courage, valor and dedication that you and your men showcase for motherland is incomparable. In the end, a few lines to our Indian soldiers. Their courage is greater than the nights where they are posted. Their determination is stronger than the valley they walk on daily. Their willpower is as strong as the rocks and mountains around. I salute our army on the behalf of Sainik School Gopalganj. Thank you and I wish you all a memorable day ahead.
Esteemed Major General Rajpal Punya, Youth Seva Medal, General Officer Commanding Jharkhand and Bihar Sub Area, and Chairman Local Board of Administration Sainik School Gopalganj, members of the media, officers and staff of Sainik School Gopalganj, and my dear cadets. The year gone by had been a traumatic experience for not only us but the whole world due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And we are fortunate to have reassembled after a gap of more than 18 months to celebrate our Racing Day. The day has been made even more significant to have our GOC and our LVA chairman, Major General Rajpal Punia, YSL, in our midst. Sir, your kind presence here has not only enhanced the import of this occasion, but has given us a huge morale fillip to get back to the normal way of school at the earliest. I take this opportunity on behalf of the entire fraternity of Sainik School Gopalganj to express our sincerest gratitude to you for having taken out time from your busy schedule and join us on our Racing Day. General Punia needs no introduction, and the audio-visual just presented by the cadets was our small effort to highlight one of the most important chapters of valor of the Indian Army, led and conducted by General Punia. However, it's an honor to formally introduce the General Officer for me. General Punia was commissioned into the 14th Mechanized Infantry, which was erstwhile 16 Rajputana Rifles, on 9th June 1984. In a glorious career spanning more than 37 years, he has tenanted almost all types of appointments possible in the Indian Armed Forces. An alumnus of Sainik School Chittorgarh, NDA Khadakwasla, and the Indian Military Academy Dehradun, the General has commanded his parent unit, an infantry brigade in the high altitude, and an armored division in a strike corps. He has done some of the most prestigious courses during his service, like the Defence Services Staff course at DSSC Wellington, the Senior Command course at Mau, and the Higher Defence Management course in Secunderabad. He has the unique distinction of having attended the Senior Mission Leader course in Tokyo in Japan and the National Defence Course NDC in Thailand. For his extraordinary leadership and valor in the operation in Sierra Leone that you just saw, he was awarded the Youth Seva Medal. The General is now an established author, having published his book of Kukri, and the second book is due for release soon, and we look forward to see. Sir, we have been thrown quite a few curveballs by destiny these few days. Infrastructural challenges, the school closure, and some of the most inclement weather. In fact, the very place we are sitting now was knee-deep in water just a couple of days back. But what we have been able to present today before you has been the combined efforts of every cadet and staff member of the school, and I can't express my gratitude enough to each one of them for their singular dedication and commitment to the institution. They are limited only by my thought processes, otherwise they can achieve wonders. I hope that you will view us and our efforts with benevolence and forgive us our shortcomings. Without taking any more time, may I now request Major General Rajpal Punia, YSM, GOC JNB Sub-Area and Chairman LVA Sainik School to kindly accept the school memento as a token of our gratitude and then address the school.
Thank you.